Morgan. I am currently a junior at Palisade High School. I will be graduating in 2018.
And I'm McKenna McLaughlin. I'm also a junior at Palisade High School, and I will also be graduating in 2018.
And we did this video about how to take proper care of your uniform.
Yep. We'll be showing how to put it on, how to take it off, some general rules and maintenance about your uniform.
And we're also going to talk about what it means to wear this uniform and what we've learned from it and how, what our seniors taught us about the pride of this uniform. We just want to talk about that a little too.
Yep. Enjoy.
Okay, so when we put our pants on, we don't start off with shoes because shoes will catch on the pants and it won't be good. When we put on our pants, we have to be really careful because there are sewed up spots here, and if we put our foot through them, they'll rip, and that's gonna cost money to sew them. We also want to be very careful not to put them too much on the floor because they'll get really dirty and we'll have to take them to the dry cleaners, and once again, that'll cost money. We also have stirrups. Usually this helps keep the pants and the shoes in line and make them look good, professional. Usually when we put our uniforms on, we're wearing our band shirt and band t-shirt. Sometimes if it's really cold out, people wear leggings underneath. It's also very important that we wear black socks because we have black shoes and we don't want us to look weird, or we don't want skin showing because that just looks really unprofessional. So we like to have long black socks just so that if it does rise up, it'll like camouflage in with the black shoes we have, so it won't look bad, it'll look professional. Oh, we also have this pocket right here on the other side where we keep necessities like hairpins, hair ties, inhalers. We don't like to put things like phones, or we don't like to put excessive amounts in here because sometimes it'll start to bulk out and that just looks very unprofessional. So we like to keep it to a minimum. So this is how you put your pants on. Okay, so now it's time for the jacket. It's kind of easy to put on. I'd say the hardest part is the hook. My freshman year, I always had seniors do it. So when we start out, we start with the zipper, which is fairly simple, just like a jacket zipper, if I could get it. Okay, and then we button these up, every single one of them. And then we do these two buttons. You always have to do this, and people forget this a lot and it just looks really dorky like that, so don't forget that one. Then you have the hook. So you have this thing right here and you have that, they hook like a hook. And then there's a little, it's kind of like another button, kind of like a press-in button. And there you go, here's your jacket. So our one thing with the dinkles is we have to make sure that our shoelaces are tucked in. That looks very professional. This one's not tucked in yet. And usually before every competition, we like to shine our shoes and make them look very nice and professional. Or sometimes people take Windex and wipe them off. Others actually get like the shoe shiner out. Okay, so now we put on the gloves. These are woodwind gloves. They have it cut off the knuckles so that they can play. And these are brass gloves. So we put on our gloves before we put on our gauntlets. Makes it easier. These are our gauntlets. The silver button always goes on top when you put the gauntlets on. This small area goes near the hands and this goes away from it. So before I put my gauntlet on, I like to fold the cloth over. That way it feels more tight and secure underneath my gauntlet. Some schools like to tape their sleeves, but we don't do that because it ruins the fabric and it rips out the fibers, which isn't good. So here we go, here's the silver button on top, and you just push them together, it's Velcro. Some people like to get their gauntlets clipped. I have a little clip here because I used to get them clipped. Just that way they're tighter and feel even more secure. It feels just better. So you don't feel like they're like running around everywhere and loose and going crazy. So you also want to be careful and tuck this in because that looks really unprofessional. And then finally you hold them up and make sure that they are parallel to the floor and look good. Don't have any like weird overlaps or weird kinks. There we go. Okay, so now we put on our Shakos. Before we put them on, we have to, like, girls have to make sure their hair is all up, or guys, sometimes if you have really long hair, you have to put it up in a bun. You can't have your hair touching the collar. So, now it's time for your hat. These are kind of tricky sometimes. I'll show them. You have to push them both apart. Okay, so we have the buckle here. This needs to go under your chin. You can't have it above here. It needs to go under because it's uniformed. Everyone does it like that. So usually we have 1 to 2 fingers that can fit into the buckle here. And we have the 2-finger rule. Under the hat, you have to make sure that the hat touches. You have to put it on your forehead and you have to make sure that the hat touches your fingers. Just to make sure that everyone has it in the same spot. That's what your shake looks like. Okay, one thing with the Shakos is we are not allowed to wear them backwards. It looks very unprofessional. But we do get to wear plumes with our Shakos, which is really a lot of fun. But we are not allowed to touch the plumes because our fingers have oils that ruin the feathers that make them all fluffy and pretty. So when we put the plumes on, we have to hold our Shako so that the band parents can put it in and it won't make the Shako go around all crazy like. So there we go, this is the full uniform.
Okay, now that you're in your uniform, we need to go over general rules about your uniform. One thing, we don't wear jewelry. It can get caught or it also distracts from our uniform. So necklaces, rings, earrings, any piercings that you have, take them out. It will look unprofessional if we don't, and it could get caught and distract the audience. Another thing, we don't wear nail polish, especially woodwinds, because the fingers are cut out. You can see it. So we don't wear any nail polish. It just makes us look unprofessional. There are times when we're allowed to take our jackets off in the stands, but we never take our overalls off because our pants will drag on the ground and it'll ruin the uniform. And another thing is when you come to an event, you'll always come in your under uniform, so your shorts and your shirt, and then that includes your dinkles, so you always wear your dinkles to an event. Alright, so now we're going to take off our uniform. Our Shakos are very simple. You just take that and fold it over the rim. Get your box. And the thing about your box is only your Shako goes in your box. We don't put anything else in there. So, especially gloves, we do not put gloves in our Shako box, just our Shako. It keeps everything well organized. Now, gloves, you can put them in your instrument case. That's what I do. Or you can put them in the back pocket of your uniform bag, right here. Just flip that around. Okay, the things that go in the back of your uniform pocket: gloves and gauntlets. Now, the way we put our gauntlets away, we don't fold them. Put them away just like this. The Velcro part goes together on both sides. We put it away just like that. We don't fold them because it creates a crease that will show up on our gauntlets, and that's not very professional. So those are the only two things that go on your uniform bag besides your uniform. If you put anything else in there, it'll actually destroy the bag. So a big thing, we don't put shoes in our bags, and that's about it. Okay. Now, these hangers were made very special for our band. If you look at them, they have a natural arc that's supposed to mimic the natural arc of your shoulder. So, and another way to tell that hanger is facing forward is the number we'll be showing. So you make sure that when you take off your jacket, the shoulders are always following the natural curve of this arc. Again, make sure your uniform does not touch the ground. So we're just going to hang it up. So our shoulder pads are right over that arc. It keeps the integrity of the uniform. We're going to pause on that. Okay, you're taking off your pants. And now we're going to zip them back up. Take care of the buttons. This just keeps the integrity of your uniform. Plus it makes nice and neat when you go back to put it on. Okay, now folding our pants is a little bit more difficult. What we do is we take the creases. There'll be 2 creases on each pant, so that area where it folds right there and there. And then you can see there's 2 lines. There's one here and one here. We're gonna match those up so that the creases match up, just like that. Make sure they go all the way down. Then I just put my arm over and fold. And sometimes it gets a little lopsided, so then go back and make sure that your creases have held up. Check that side. There you go. It's about even. And then something about our hangers have a bar that comes down here. This bar here. Just gonna slide it on. Keep it nice and straight so that we don't create any other creases. And there you go. There's a hook here. I'll show that again. You just hook up, back and around. And then just pull it out a little bit. Make sure that it's straight. And then the next part, to keep the integrity of your uniform, we essentially put it back, all the buttons back. So like we were putting it on ourselves, but we were putting it on the rack. You can go through and do the entire zipper and all the buttons and all the hooks if you want, but the minimum that our band parents want us to do, this bottom button right here, this top one here, and then this one will go over the silver hook, and take your flap, put it over the silver hook again. This keeps the integrity of your uniform, it keeps it nice, and so that way when we go put it on again, it'll look really professional. Sit it back up.
Now we're going to talk about what it means to wear this Palisade uniform. We take pride in who we are, so we don't run, we don't do PDA, we don't eat. We don't run because it wears out the uniform and that's not good. And we don't do any PDA because that's very unprofessional. And we don't like to eat because that also ruins the uniform and causes us to take it to the dry cleaners.
Yes. When we're wearing our uniform, it's a reflection of not only who you are, but it's a reflection of our entire band program. And it's important that we leave a good first impression, especially because some of the bands that come over the mountain, this is the first time they ever see us. And also when we're at parades and the whole public's watching us, it may be the only time they ever see our band, and we need to make a good impression for them. So we also, there's no cursing in uniform, no foul language, and then we don't goof off. Like, there is a playground at Stoker. We don't go on the playground when we're wearing uniform. We need to keep our uniforms nice, and we need to represent our band program with respect and pride.
And this also goes along with just when you're even in this band t-shirt, we show who the Palisade Band is. We always need to represent it with pride and show that we are very respectful. Like, we need to show them who we are.
Yeah. It's an honor to wear this uniform. It's an honor to be a part of this band. So when you're in public and you're wearing a t-shirt, you're representing the band. So you need to reflect us with a positive light. And it's just a big honor. So uphold that. You're part of a really big team.
And then after we take off our uniforms, we always have to clean up after ourselves. The band parents do a lot for us. It'd be really nice if we were more respectful towards them and help them out. Like when they ask, can you put the uniforms there? Can you put them on the trailer? It'd be really nice if we helped them out and kept clean after ourselves. We didn't leave trash where we set up or take down. If we just started being very respectful with that, it'd be awesome to do. We are representing who we are.
Band parents do a lot more work than it realizes. We do a lot of behind the scenes action, and it's really important that we treat them with respect and that we show them how much we appreciate their work. One last thing, we need to respect our uniform and keep it clean. Something we have in the bleachers is we have these pads that we put down. Make sure that you're sitting on the black pads when we are in uniform so that we keep them clean.
Please and thank you. We're so excited for this band program. We love it and we take a lot of pride in it. So we hope you do too.
We hope you have a good 4 years of Palisade Bands.